Live TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
There's fear and anxiety tonight around something supposed to be fun and carefree. It's the time many Batman fans have been waiting for. The Joker is premiering in theaters as we speak.
But some of the night's excitement is being dampened by fears of another shooting. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie tells us how local theaters are taking these fears very seriously.
No bags, no masks, no costumes, no exceptions. It's plastered all over the walls at the Century Cinema movie theater here in Fargo. The reason why? In 2012, James Holm gunned down a theater in Aurora during The Dark Knight Rises, killing 12 people. Since then, movie theaters across the country have been beefing up security.
You know, everybody says we never thought it would happen here when it happens in the small towns, so you really never know. It's a different world.
With tonight's much-awaited launch of The Joker, Century Cinema says they're taking precautions to make sure a tragedy like Aurora's doesn't happen here.
I do think they should keep the security because that will make people feel better about themselves going to the movie and being safe. You know, that's what it's about, going to the movie theater.
And it's not just the theaters that are being cautious. A lot of moviegoers like Dustin Wymer say they don't feel as safe going to see a movie anymore. And they're not letting their guard down as easily.
It used to not be, but now it's something when you go into a theater, you always think where to sit, where your exits are. It's precautions you got to take these days.
But not everyone thinks the extra security is needed.
I think that the families of the victims of the Aurora shooting have a legitimate reason to be concerned, but it doesn't happen for every movie.
Employees are telling us that this isn't the first time that they've had to increase security for a movie, but the general consensus of the moviegoers that were here today tell us it's better to be safe than sorry. Now, a lot of people did come out for the Joker premiere tonight. This parking lot is finally starting to clear out for the first time since 4. And a lot of people followed the rules today too. We haven't seen anyone come out yet wearing a costume or a mask. So it's looking like both the up security and the Joker were a success. And I don't know, Mike and Andrea, I might have to come back out this weekend and check it out for myself. For now, we'll go ahead and toss it back to you guys in the studio. Reporting live in Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
All right, Courtney, thank you. Many other theaters in the area joined Century Cinema in upping security today. AMC Classics nationwide, including the one in Grand Forks, also took extra safety measures.
Traffic is back up and running on Highway 10 near 34th Street in Moorhead after a multi-car accident. The reports of a possible two-vehicle accident came in a little around 7 tonight. The details are slim right now, but an official tells us he believes any injuries are fairly minor. Traffic had to be rerouted as crews cleaned up the street.
A known gang member out of New Jersey who was hiding from police in Fargo has been arrested. Authorities say 27-year-old Jerome Kuhn has a serious criminal history, including arrests for aggravated assault, unlawful possession of a machine gun, and theft. They also confirmed that Kuhn is a Bloods gang member. He was arrested today outside of his home on 20th Avenue South in Fargo.
Bond has been set for a Bismarck man accused of sexually assaulting a 4-year-old and passing along a sexually transmitted disease. 21-year-old Paxton Haywood denies having contact with the child. However, prosecutors say relatives took the child to the emergency room where the 4-year-old said Haywood sexually assaulted her. He's being held on a $100,000 bond.
Police in Fergus Falls are asking for your help in finding these people on your screen right now. 19-year-old Angel Thompson, 52-year-old Leonard Lureen, 28-year-old Tanner Halton, and 26-year-old David Hamiltoff all have open warrants. If you have any information about them, call local law enforcement. In Bemidji, police are also asking for your help identifying this person. They say the individual is part of an ongoing investigation. If you have any information about her, contact Officer Kerrigan at 218-333-8309.
An ex-employee of Child Protective Services in Cass County ignited a firestorm by accusing management of unethical behavior. In a complaint, she alleges her bosses delayed case assignments for nearly 2 weeks. The most recent data on CPS cases that we obtained shows in 2018, in every quarter except one, the number of cases assigned outpaced those closed. This year, it's following the same path. From January to July, there have been more cases assigned than closed.
So right now, what's happening is I think they get these cases and then they just let them sit. They don't do anything about it.
It's been going on for years. It's just finally now someone's finally coming out and speaking out against it.
A former employee we spoke to over the phone agreed that they get overworked and said they couldn't go into overtime. Management took action in the spring to address caseload.
Fargo City Commissioners will decide on a new push in town to combat what's being called a vaping epidemic. A change to existing law was approved in committee that would add a $500 fine to anyone who sells flavored e-cigarette liquids to minors. The full commission will consider the matter Monday night.
It's now up to a judge to decide whether Fargo teachers in the district will return to the negotiating table or continue with impasse proceedings. In court today, teachers argued that the school board violated North Dakota Century Code by declaring impasse without their agreement. Fargo School Board President Robin Nelson says the judge didn't give a timeline on when he would make his ruling.
The North Dakota Highway Patrol is making an increased effort in railway safety.
Jacob Notterman explains how the agency is going beyond September's Rail Safety Week.
Before the sun comes up, officers begin positioning themselves not on the roads, but on the tracks as railway patrol.
What we're working on is just the enforcement aspect and also raising awareness just for railroad grade crossings and the importance of, minding the horn, the signals and everything, and just being more aware of the trains.
As part of the Troopers on a Train program, one patrolman rides a locomotive as a spotter, looking for drivers trying to make an unsafe track crossing. That citation carries a $50 fine. But law enforcement says money isn't the issue.
Approximately every 4 hours in the United States, either a vehicle or a pedestrian is involved in a collision with a train. We should always expect a train and look in both directions. Trains can run on any track at any time in either direction.
At least 200 people have died in accidents at highway rail crossings every year since the U.S. Department of Transportation began tracking that data in 1980.
Something that maybe people don't understand is just the how fast the train is actually coming, or just that they should be more mindful of itself. That if somebody sees a train and thinks that they can beat it, you might not be able to because the speed is actually higher than what you think it might be.
Law enforcement says, fortunately, the number of deaths are declining. The train and chase vehicle took a 3-hour trip from Mandan to Eldridge. Fortunately, law enforcement didn't find any lawbreakers along the route, so they didn't hand out any citations.
Authorities are reminding drivers to take extra precautions when approaching tracks. Don't try to cross them unless your entire vehicle will pass, and be alert for tracks without warning signs.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
All right, a chilly night ahead as we look in on Hector International Airport from our Valley Skycam. Our current conditions at Hector right now, 44 degrees. We're not cooling off quickly because that cloud cover lingering here over the valley, and that helps to blanket the warmth. And well, I don't know if I'd call it warmth, but at least we're not cooling as fast as we could. The wind this hour calm. 46 degrees in Grand Forks, cloudy there as well. Cloudy and 43 in Baudette, and 41's a pretty popular number in Lakes Country with low 40s as well in the western counties. West is where the clearing is most likely, and that is where there is a freeze warning in effect. That includes the Carrington area straight south through Ellendale in Dickey County. And then the rest of us have to be concerned about some patchy frost development as we go through the overnight hours. And here's a look at that cloud cover lingering over much of the region from Bismarck and Minot all the way through the valley into Minnesota. So not clearing out too quickly. We are seeing a little notch of clearing pushing into north central portions of the valley right now. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Starting in the 10 o'clock hour, that clearing trend should slowly persist as we go through the overnight hours. Calm winds and temperatures falling into the 30s, and that means some of us will see a chance at some patchy fog and patchy frost as well. Now, temperatures here, look at this, between the low 30s and upper 30s, we could still see some frost on surfaces like the grass, the roof surfaces, with temperatures in the mid 30s. And again, the best chance of those freezing temperatures out in the central portion of the Dakotas to start your Friday morning. By the midday hour, that wind is going to be picking up already, 15 to 25 miles per hour out of the south-southeast, and we'll still have some lingering clouds across portions of Minnesota and the Southern Valley. Temperatures will be on their way up. We'll have some hints at sunshine and no snowflakes in the forecast For tomorrow afternoon, we start warming up, but the wind really starts picking up. You see these yellows and their colors here? The blues, oh, that's 15 to 20 mile per hour winds, and we'll have gusts upwards of 30, maybe even a little bit more out in our western counties. Late clouds start to push into the picture. That means we'll have a chance at some late night sprinkles, but I think you get through your Friday night football games before that sets in. So milder temperatures for you to get out and close out your work week. In Fargo, 30s to start your day, mid-30s. Patchy frost possible and some areas of fog a possibility as well. Slowly climbing temperatures, decreasing clouds, and in the afternoon from around 2 o'clock on, I'm expecting more in the way of sunshine and more in the way of temperatures as well, as opposed to mid-40s. We're expecting upper 50s in Fargo, mid-50s for Grand Forks. Still a chance at some temperatures in those upper 40s in the Devil's Lake Basin, 54 in Oaks tomorrow afternoon. And if you're in Bemidji, you'll see 48 on your car's thermometer on the way home. And in Lakes Country, well, near 50 degrees there, but the sunshine will feel nice. This morning, folks waking up across portions of the valley. Here's a shot from Chuck in Lakota, over an inch of snow there to start the season. And how about this? Well, looks like a broom necessary, no snowblower. And thanks a lot, Colleen, for sharing your new Rockford photo. Here's a great photo also of some more pleasant conditions over the lake. Tim capturing this morning shot. Now, more rain is in the forecast and a soggy day on Saturday with a good ½ inch possible for many of us. And temperatures cooler, but then a little bit of a rebound after a windy Sunday. We'll see the 60s to near 70 return early next week. More rain Thursday.
We could sure use the sunshine too, huh?
Yeah, I'm in need of a little. Yes.
Yeah, thanks.